In this video, I'm going to show you how we can create a construction plan presentation without using AutoCAD. So I'm going to walk you today through this project and how you can create something similar to this for your construction plan presentations. By the way, for this video, I will be using Rayon Design, which you can try in the first link in the description, which is perfect for stuff like this because it's web-based, super fast and easy to use as well. So for example, if we wanted to go ahead and create something like this, we can use the wall tool. So if you use the wall tool right here, we can basically click once for basically its beginning, and then another time for basically where we want to connect it to. And I'm going to try to use like a similar shape. As you can see, if we get closer, there will be guidelines showing up. That way you know you're being super accurate with where you're drawing. Now this, we can basically select all the walls, and we can also modify its thickness. So if we want to make this a bit thicker, we can go for 0.3. And then we can also edit the fill. So this would be a solid black fill. And then if we go to texture, we can use a texture which looks more real life. So it would be something like this, or we can even go to hatch and then use an oblique compact texture, something like this, which is what is usually used in more detailed drawings. But for this instance, we're basically going to leave it as a black fill. Now, let's say we have some divisions as we have in this example. I'm going to go ahead and use the wall tool once again. Let's just create one division there, and then let's just draw another wall right here, for example. Let's click done. Let's use another one right here. I know this one is not completely at 90 degrees, but we can also modify this after we place it. So we can just click once. So this would be 90 degrees. Let's move this forward. Now, in this instance, let's say we have a few different areas that we want marked up with different styles and hatches like we have here. We can basically go ahead and use the zone tool. We can click once here, and this would be one zone, and this would be another zone. This would be another zone, and I'm going to divide all of these just like this. What we can do as well is that we can also change the colors, maybe just a little bit to distinct the zones with each other. So maybe like this, and then another one which looks a bit more on the greener side. And I'm going to show you exactly why these zones, this zone tool is actually so powerful. So basically why we can use this zone tool and why it's powerful is if we want to calculate and have a look at all of the sum of the areas of the zones. If we need to calculate materials or anything like that, we can go here at tables, we can add a new table, and then we can go ahead and use categories and only leave the zones on, and then we can add something right here just to show all of the areas. So now, as you can see, this drawing here also has a lot of annotations like the side axis and stuff like that. Basically, the way that we can do this is we can basically go ahead and use this leader tool. We can click once and then another time right here, and then for example right here we can type in electricity installations and then click enter. And then we can also increase the size of it to 0.25 or maybe even bigger to 0.5. And then let's also change this to a yellow color, something like this. And we can also change the stroke if we do want this to be thicker. So for example, something like this, or 1 millimeters. And then this is how we add annotations all along the drawings, which is very easy and very fast. I'm also going to show you how we can add dimensions if we need that. So once you click at dimensions, I would highly recommend to go to chained, and then you can just click once for the first dimension, and then you can basically continue with the rest of the stuff without needing to basically select the tool all of the time. Cool. So now we can click done. Now we can basically also increase the size of the texture. So let's go for 0.5. This would be a lot bigger. We can also highlight these further with something like a brighter color. And this is basically how we can add annotations and clarify anything in our drawings. Now, I just want to go back just a little bit here in the zones that we drew. If you go here at fills, you probably saw that we can select any color here or even through color palettes. However, we also have textures, once again, which are more based on real life. So we could probably use something like a ceramic hexagon. We can also go ahead and edit this through the transform option. Let's make this 3 times bigger, 5 times bigger. We can also rotate this, which is super easy. Also offset the texture or anything like that, which is very, very easy to use. Then we also have this other option here, attach, which I showed you earlier, which is more technical and more architectural in a way. So for example, let's say I wanted to use this oblique grid. I can make the stroke a dark kind of gray, and then I can also change the background at some sort of yellow. So this would kind of be how you can stylize, add hatches, textures, etc. So let's say once we have gotten to this position, which basically is using the same tools, it's just a longer process depending on the project. Once we get to this, we can easily go ahead and add a view, for example, and then we can also add a page if we wanted to export. So it would be something like this. Now we already have done this with the drawings here. And then once you basically draw the view or the page, we can easily go here at pages, and then we can select any of these or all three, and then we can either export them as PDF or a PNG. Now, these are the kind of drawings you can create for your construction plan presentation in Rayon Design. If you want to try out and play around with this template, you can do by clicking the first link below, where you can also sign up for Rayon. It's super fast, easy, reliable, and it's web-based, which I absolutely love. And if you enjoyed this Rayon video and you want to learn more about the software, make sure you go and watch this video as well.